Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be talking about killer builds. Recently, we've had the newest version of Chaos Shuffle come out, and I have noticed some people are starting to notice that killers are a lot more dependent on their add-ons and perks to perform compared to survivors. You know, I've seen some people on Twitter. I've seen Scott Jund talking about this, and honestly, I want to give my 2 cents on this whole thing of like why this is the case. I want to dive specifically into why and how we can fix it. So first, let's address the issue. Why are killers so much more dependent on their perks and add-ons to perform well compared to survivors? Well, here's the first one. The first one is killer builds are generally a lot more strict when it comes to compared to survivors. For survivors, because all of the survivors are basically skins, because they all basically play the same, you don't need to build according to your character, because all of them play the same, so all your builds universally work across all your characters, versus killers who benefit more from specific perks, and specific perks end up being detrimental to specific killers. Like, take for example chase perks on a nurse, like breaking pallets and stuff. Why would you care about breaking pallets as the nurse when you were just going to phase through them and just completely ignore them? Stuff like that, for example. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that also adds on to the first one, is that survivors have a lot more freedom when it comes to their choices, because of mainly it's a 4v1 with them being the 4. As the 4 in the 4v1, you have your teammates that can help you out, and they can also bring perks as well. So they have, instead of 4 perks, the whole team has a total of 16. So you could bring stuff like, let's say, a healing build, and not have to worry too much about you, and not have to worry so much about the consequences of it, because your teammates, for the most part, can cover for your shortcomings with their build. And also, with the killers, you can't really do that, mainly because you are by yourself. You only have 4 perk slots, whereas the survivors, they have 16 total. You have to compensate for your shortcomings yourself. So if you're playing someone like Chucky, for example, you can't have someone else cover for you know, for your weakness of low mobility. No, you have to compensate for that with your own build and your own perks. You have to sacrifice perk slots to cover for your shortcomings. And that because all the killers play differently, you also need to make sure that your perks also synergize with your killer's power, because if they don't, and they don't have any synergy, then the perk may as well be dead weight. So, that's the second thing. The third thing is, put it simply, survivors have a lot more options when it comes to perks compared to killers. For survivors, you have so many viable options nowadays 4 perks due to like the amount of like strong perks survivors have been getting recently. Like we got with the Arella chapter, we got fucking insane perks like Duty of Care. Healing is just at an all-time high, and it's just like insanely busted. You could spec into Chase. Chase is fairly strong with, you know, us recently getting fucking Finesse with the Laura Croft chapter. You can go full Gen Rush with Gen Rush has been getting slowly buffed over the years with new perks and stuff. Hell, a new Stranger Things chapter comes with 2 new teamwork perks that buff sub-gen progression when another survivor is working on the gen with you by 5% and it stacks. And hell, the skill check builds have been getting stronger with the new addition of 1, 2, 3, 4. With hyper focus being at the strongest it's ever been. And then meanwhile, look at Killer. Killer has not really, the Killer meta hasn't really changed in like ages. Like I think the last time we got a truly meta defining perk was all the way back in the Alien chapter with Ultimate Weapon. I mean, recently with the new chapter, we're getting Turn Back the Clock, which is going to be absolutely insane. But like, Killer has not really gotten any new game-changing perks in a while. So you're just kind of stuck with like the same handful of perks, whereas most of the perks on the Killer side, it's just simply, they're either simply dog shit or just not strong enough to warrant a perk slot. Like we got the fucking perk like Forever Entwined. Like, it's not a particularly strong perk, it's more of just a comfort perk. It's, well, 9 times out of 10, it's not really worth a perk slot, as it's more of just a feel-good perk. Friends to the End, it's not really it's good, but unless you're wanting to play off meta, you're not really going to be sacrificing a perk slot for it. Unless you're Ghoul, then obviously you're going to be running that shit every time because it's his best perk. But yeah, there's just, most of the perks that get changed or come out, they're oftentimes not really strong enough to be worth replacing our old meta perks. So the meta just slowly became stagnant over the years, and with the survivors getting new and more metas, it makes it so it's kind of hard for the Killers to keep up, which leads to the third point, in that Killer kind of is in a very bad spot at the moment. With like all of these new metas popping up, there's not a whole lot of build diversity you can do as a Killer, because most of the other playstyles you can do are just simply not worth it. Like, for example, Anti-Heal. Anti-Heal hasn't been meta since they nerfed Mangled, which I'm still pissed off about that, by the way, because they said, oh, we're nerfing Mangled because it's going to open up the possibility for new and exciting anti-heal perks. And the last anti-heal perk we got was fucking the rework to Leverage, and that shit got nerfed. It's just like, At that point, if you're not even going to make new anti-heal perks and just nerf Mangled, why even bother nerfing Mangled? It's not like anti-heal was like truly on par with Gen slowdown. It was more of a fun alternative, and now it's not even worth running. You want to run Chase? Well, no, the survivors are just going to slam out Gens because you didn't run Gen Defend. You want to play territorially? Well, oh, that's to be you, because we got anti-cap up now, and you're also going to get hard punished by survivors doing the generators because you have to spend time setting up to play territorially. So you're trying to play territorially in an age where active play is the go-to strategy. That's why killers like Trapper and the Hack have fallen out of favor, because this game simply moved on without them. And that's the third reason. Then the question becomes, how do we fix this issue? Honestly, it is simple. Put it simply, the way you fix this is just give killers, you don't need to nerf like some of the survivor methods. Maybe the healing stuff is getting too crazy, and maybe the gen speeds are getting too crazy. But the main thing you gotta do is give killers more playstyles that are worth running. Like anti-heal, for example. Like, make the other playstyles actually worth doing. Because right now it just feels like if you aren't playing to the meta, it just feels like you're throwing. And nobody likes feeling like they're just throwing. Nobody likes losing because they get out-perked. But simply just give killers more perks that are just strong. Give us more playstyles to run, or make the other alternate playstyles we got worth doing, so it doesn't feel like we're throwing just for the sake of variety. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Take care, everyone.